Good morning, New Canaan High School. I'm Amelie coming to you live from the NCTV studio. Today is Thursday, June 10th, and the second day of finals. It's our final broadcast of the year, so we've got a bunch of news to cover from the final schedule, the NCHS Live Theater is back, and of course, the latest on graduation. But before we begin, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As with the end of the year in sight, we're in everyone's favorite week, finals exams. Today, students will be taking their period 6 and 5 exams, and Friday, there will be periods 4 and 3. You'll then get a weekend off to study and relax before the last exams, periods 2 and 1, on Monday. Monday is also the seniors' breakfast, taking place at 8:15 a.m. in the cafeteria, followed directly by the graduation rehearsal at 9:15. Good luck to everyone on their exams. And speaking of graduation, the big day is almost here. The ceremony will be next week. So for the latest, we go to Max Alert.
All right, Amelie, graduation makes its return to Dunning Stadium once again. However, it will be a little different. Graduation starts at 10:30 with gates opening at 9 a.m. Families will be seated on both sides of the bleachers. A through R last names will be seated on the home side behind me, while S through Z will find their seats in the visitor section. The ceremony has been slightly shortened, but will still include speeches from First Selectman Kevin Moynihan, Principal Egan, Superintendent Dr. Lutzy, and also a few seniors. Our graduates sure are getting the best of both worlds, too, with both a traditional ceremony and a reboot of last year's car recessional. The parade was such a huge hit last year, the school decided to do it again. The parade starts directly after, with graduates and their families riding in only one car. Note that each graduate will receive 6 tickets, but if you're unable to attend, NCTV will be streaming, so make sure you tune in. Back to you, Amelie.
Thanks, Mac. Now let's give a standing ovation to everyone involved in the latest NCHS Theater Spring musical, Godspell. Godspell is a show all about Jesus, played by Jackson Lamort, spreading the parables to bring people closer to God. It was their first live show since COVID began, where they were finally able to perform in front of a live crowd. 3 shows were performed last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but it's still important to acknowledge all of the hard work the cast and crew put into the show. Our very own Harry Lee was able to get an interview with Jackson Lamort, the lead in the spring show.
Having a live audience this year was a completely great experience. It's something that I've been wanting for the past year that I didn't get to have until now. The difference between talking to and performing towards a live audience versus having to record it is like talking to a wall versus talking to an actual person.
Thank you, Harry. It's our last broadcast, so we can't leave you without one last COVID update. But this week, we want to highlight how far we've come since the pandemic started last March. As we check out our COVID graphic that's been revived from the winter, let's take a look back at the early months. With the combination of social distancing, mitigation strategies, along with student and teacher vaccinations, we're back down to extremely low positive test rates in Fairfield County that we haven't seen since the summer. Great job to all this year doing your part to help keep everyone safe. And remember, keep wearing your mask in the next few school days. Many of you may already know that next year we are losing 2 New Canaan High School legends to retirement. Athletic trainer Diane Murphy-Cavell and art teacher Jean McDonough have both worked here at NCHS for a combined 71 years. Diane has taped a lot of ankles and healed a lot of athletes, and Mrs. McDonough has cracked a lot of smiles. The 2 are beloved staff members, and their presence in the building will be greatly missed. We want to thank both of them for everything you guys did for us and wish you both the best of luck in retirement. We have some students as well to congratulate who were recently announced the winners of the Fritz Eager Purchase and Merit Awards, Ethan Jones, Paige Stein, and Jacob Scola, who have demonstrated excellent creativity and personal voice and skill in their work. We'd also like to congratulate honorable mentions Will Beskin, Annie Gong, and Mallory Art. Nice work. Talented artists, talented athletes, NCHS has it all. Cole Schubert is back to tell us all about the latest playoff news.
Why, thank you, Amelie. It's great to be back for some more spring sports. Teams are deep into playoffs, and I'm here to cover it all. What's up, NCHS? I'm Cole Schubert, and this is your Rams Sports Report. Let's start off with the team that's on fire. Girls lacrosse were ranked number 1 in FCX and beat St. Joe's and Ludlow to make it to the finals, where they played number 2 ranked Darien. You guys know the line. You know NCTV was there, so let's roll the tapes. Let's set the scene here. It's a beautiful rainy morning. I'm just kidding. And the Rams are looking to win their first FCAC title in 23 years. They've already beat the Blue Wave twice in the regular season. Can they do it for the third time? It's the ideal start for the girls as they get a goal in just the first 25 seconds of the game, courtesy of sophomore Stella Nolan. Less than a minute later, in the same play, Quinn McKiernan gets the assist as she passes to junior Dylan Patton, who scores. Darian pulls one back, but with 13 minutes left in the first half, senior McKenna Harden moves in and dumps it off to freshman Devin Russell, who puts the Rams up 3-1. With just 5 minutes left in the first half, Patton takes it upon herself to score a fantastic unassisted goal, beating 3 defenders and the goalie in the process. Rams up 5-1. Now with 30 seconds left, the same pass from behind the cage from senior Quinn McKiernan finds Patton yet again, and she gets her hat trick. In the second half, junior Hollis Mulry intercepts Darien goalkeeper Shea Dolce's pass and finishes it in the top corner to put the Rams in cruise control 7-1. Darien tries to mount a comeback, but Ian, take it away.
And this game is all but over. For the first time since 1993, the New Canaan Rams are FCAC champions.
Great job and congrats, girls. Next up was States, and they played Ridgefield last Tuesday where they crushed the Tigers 15-5. Next came number 9 Wilton, and they won again 12-9, leading them into the semifinals where they played Darien for the 4th time this season. This time, unfortunately, they ended up falling 8-4 to their rival, ending their fantastic unbeaten season at 20-1. Still an incredible season, so congrats, girls. Now let's set it over to volleyball. The boys had a bye in the first round of FCACs, coming in at the 2 seed. They won a tough game against Trumbull in the semifinals, 3-2. The boys were led by All-FCAC first-team member Junior Connor Finnegan and All-FCAC second-team member Junior Connor Ho. Unfortunately, they would go on to lose to Darien in the FCAC final. Next up was volleyball for the boys, and next up was States for the boys, and they had a bye through the first round, and their run would come to an end after losing to South Windsor. Congrats on the excellent season and the awesome improvement. Boys golf played in the FCAC championship last Thursday, where all the teams played one round and the team with the lowest score won. That's exactly what they did, taking first and the win. Sophomore Colin McCarthy led the way, having the joint best score of the competition, shooting just 2 over par. The boys look to carry the momentum into States, which will have the same format and is going to be played on Saturday. Girls golf finished off their season with a perfect 14-0 record. They went on to FCACs and shot a total of 302, a fantastic score. New Canaan finished number 1 overall, beating runner-up Greenwich by just 5 strokes, with key performances from senior Sterling Legge, who took first, and junior Molly Mitchell, who tied for second. The girls played in States today where they shot a 363, once again led by senior Sterling Legge. They took home second. Congrats, girls. Girls track also at FCACs last week, and they had some strong finishes by their seniors, taking 4th and 5th across 6 different events. Next up was States, and senior Cameron Sung popped off, taking bronze in the 300 hurdles. Senior Bella DeFelice, Chloe Adams, and Emma Gibbons all medaled in shot put, with Gibbons also getting second in discus. The medalists all head off to state opens. Good luck, girls. Now for some quick hits. Boys lacrosse had a string of games with losses in FCACs and States, both in double overtime with a score of 8-7. The boys finished their season with a 10-8 record. Girls tennis lost in FCAC semis to States and then to Staples, and then in States to Amelie. Overall, it was a great season. Congrats, girls. Baseball lost to Ridgefield in the first round of FCACs, but they beat Staples in the first round of States before losing to Norwalk. They end their season on an 11-10 record, so congrats on the great season. Finally, boys track sent their best runners and throwers off to FCACs, where they took 7th and then 16th overall at States. Well, that is a wrap for the spring sports season. It was so nice to see fans back in the stands, and we here at NCTV could not be prouder of the teams. On this very tearful and sentimental note, back to you, Amelie.
Thanks, Cole. You got me crying over here. I mean, although that might just be my allergies. I'm really not loving the pollen that much, but I am loving these warm temps. To see if the heat will continue, let's pass it over to a new face in front of the green screen, Chase Pinkernell. Chase?
Thanks, Amelie. It feels great to be here. Wow, the glistering sun was almost here for too long. But don't worry, we'll see a bunch of springtime weather coming later this weekend. Good morning, New Canaan High School. I'm Chase Pinkernell, bringing you the weather for the first time ever from the NCTV studio. Those waking up for exams will see a low in the high 60s, with temps rising into the high 70s and maybe even the low 80s as the day goes on. It will be a gorgeous day, so I would definitely suggest going outside and enjoying the sun before the rain comes tomorrow. Friday is shaping up to be mostly cloudy in the morning and maybe some sun as the day continues. We'll start off the day with lows in the 60s and up to the low 70s as the day goes on. Later on in the evening, we might see some scattered thunderstorms. On to the weekend, what we're all been waiting for. Saturday, we'll see partly cloudy skies with temps in the 50s and highs in the 70s. Sunday, we'll see some more partly cloudy skies with temps in the low 60s and highs in the 70s, and possible thunderstorms later on in the day. Finally, after all of this heat, next week we'll see more spring-type weather just in time for graduation with temps in the 70s. Amelie, I don't know about you, but that sounds like the perfect weather for some time with the family. Anyway, back to you, Amelie.
Thanks, Chase. Before we go, we'd like to wish a very happy birthday to Ian Spencer and William Sweet. We hope you and everyone else here at NCHS have a great weekend and an even better summer. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube channel, also at NCTV 78. That's it from us here in the studio. We leave you now with Parent Tomasco asking students some of this or that summer questions. See you next year, NCHS.
Ice cream. Cone. Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
Beach all the way.
Beach. 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 Hat. Sunglasses.
Probably sunglasses.
I'm gonna go with hat. Sunglasses.
Kayaking.
Paddleboarding.
Stand-up paddleboarding, 100%.
Hamburger. Hot dog.
Hamburger.